All right, welcome back. So my name is Aaron and I love stand-up wrestling. So look, here's the thing. I'm a Krav Maga instructor, Krav Maga black belts, all that type of stuff. I have a brown belt in jiu-jitsu under Mike here. I do a little bit of wrestling, I shoot, so I do all this stuff. That's my disclaimer, I guess, to make you guys realize, like, I like doing things. I like Kali, I like everything, take principles from it. In the KM systems, in the Krav Maga systems, and in a lot of systems, we have a tendency to start looking at like chokes and body locks from the potential that like their hands are already on my throat. I think it was like 10 years ago, my friend Ryan Hoover actually put out a video of like constantly training from the negative. Of always starting in the choke versus, well, how do I not end up in the choke to be in the first place? So this whole entire video is really about how good wrestling and hand fighting is body lock and choke defense. So Mike can't bear hug me if I know how to do hand fighting and understand positions and pressure and all this other type stuff. It's very, well, I shouldn't say can't, but it's gonna be very difficult for him to do that. Mike won't be able to just get his two hands on my throat if I understand hand fighting and movement and angles and all the other type stuff, right? So things and elements like hand fighting, things and elements like pummeling, right? Drills with like inside bicep pummeling. He's pummeling to the inside of my arms, I'm pummeling to the inside of his, right? Head position and pressure. Right, digging for all that stuff is essentially choke defenses and bear hug defenses, how I keep people from being able to do those things in the first place, right? So if Mike wants to reach in and go for like a big old body lock, and I understand like, okay, if I can get my head down in, get head position, start feeding maybe underhooks, or maybe I'm going heavy on the overhook, well, there's no bear hug anymore, there's no body lock anymore. If in Mike's mind, he's like, can choke this guy, he's reaching his hands up and I understand like basic hand fighting mechanics, there's no choke there. Even if Mike starts getting his hands on my throat into this and I just understand like head clears and rolling off to the outside, again, there's really no choke there, right? So are there times where I wasn't paying attention? I got hit and I'm dazed and so like I can't focus and he takes advantage of that and maybe gets me in a body lock or gets me in a choke? Like, absolutely. Rear naked chokes or carotid chokes, things like that, frontside guillotines. Again, like those things can happen in elements if I've made a misstep. But if I have a really, really good solid structure around grappling, preferably stand-up wrestling more because it's a little more aggressive, a little more driven, better postured, in my opinion, I'm cutting a lot of these things down, making them a lot harder. From there, like you also add in elements of, again, like if he tries to body lock me, right, and I can get like, big, heavy overhook, get up on top, and now bomb, and I'm adding in whatever it is, my boxing, my Muay Thai, things like that. Does it maybe sound bad when I emphasize the Muay?
I don't know.
Okay, anyway, I don't know. As icy Mike. Am I allowed to say Muay Thai? Kickboxing. I'm going to say American. Kickboxing, yeah. Thai boxing, there you go. I can add those elements in. But I add those elements in because I weathered the storm of the initial barrage, whether it was a bear hug, a choke, a grab, whatever the hell that is. So long story short, are Krav Maga choke defenses legitimate? Yes, especially for people that do not or have yet to learn the wrestling skills and mechanics. However, by making sure we're spending time working on the stand-up wrestling element, head clears, arm drags, pummeling, push-pull energy, swimming for double underhooks, understanding underhooks and overhooks, understanding front headlocks, how to get in and out of front headlocks, understanding how to like mess with people's legs and trips, understanding how to hand fight, all that type stuff, like half collar ties, duck unders, all those type things. We mitigate a lot of the ability for somebody to even lock those positions into play, let alone successfully get us in a two-handed choke, press up against the wall or anything like that. So learn your wrestling as you're learning your choke defenses, right? They're not removed of each other. One is preventative, and then the other one is like, oh crap, I got there. Here's the initial thing I can do to get out of it, but then I'm still just gonna have to wrestle and fight somebody afterwards anyway. So long story short, wrestling is bear hug defense. It is choke defense. You combine that with some striking elements and some things like that, and it gets into it. I mean, hell, wrestling is not getting stabbed and getting my gun in my hand as well, right? So wrestle. It's a long ass video to tell people to do stand-up wrestling and learn how to fight, okay? See you guys later. Have some fun. And next time we'll maybe talk about something that probably also involves wrestling in some form or fashion.